Why do some people feel a deep dislike for an entire country they've never visited? What makes us form opinions, sometimes strong, even hostile ones, about places and people we know only through stories, headlines, or the words of others? It's a question that goes beyond simple curiosity. It asks us to look inward, to examine the roots of our beliefs and the forces that shape them. It's a question that reveals much about human nature. Our minds are wired to seek patterns, to find meaning in the world around us. Sometimes this means we inherit ideas and emotions that aren't truly our own. We absorb the attitudes of those around us, parents, teachers, friends, and even strangers on the internet, without always realizing it. We see it in children echoing adults, repeating words and feelings they barely understand. And we see it in grown-ups too, people who hold on to old resentments, sometimes for reasons they can't even explain, against strangers from distant lands. These feelings can be passed down like family heirlooms, quietly shaping how we see the world. This isn't about a bad experience, it's a shadow passed down, a story of them versus us. It's about inherited suspicion, the kind that lingers in the background of our lives, coloring our perceptions without us even noticing. These divisions can be subtle, but their impact is real and lasting. It's prejudice tied to a flag or a border, not just skin color. Sometimes, it's the anthem we hear, the passport we hold, or the language we speak that becomes a reason for separation. These symbols, meant to unite, can also be used to draw lines between us and them. People inherit anger from stories, history, or news, carrying pain from events long before they were born. The headlines we read, the lessons we learn in school, and the tales told at home all contribute to a narrative that can shape our feelings toward entire nations. Sometimes, these stories are filled with pain, loss, or fear, emotions that linger long after the events themselves have faded into history. A young person may distrust another nation without ever meeting its people or knowing its culture. They might feel uneasy about a place they've only seen on a map or heard about in passing, never questioning where those feelings come from or whether they're truly justified. These suspicions are seeds planted by others, a learned response, not an essential part of who we are. Just as we can learn to fear, we can also learn to understand, to question, and to grow beyond the boundaries set by others. The stories we hear shape us, but they don't have to define us forever. The first step to change is questioning these stories and recognizing that the lines on a map don't have to divide our hearts. When we pause to reflect on where our beliefs come from, we open the door to empathy, understanding, and a world where borders matter less than our shared humanity. No one is born hating another country. From the very first moments of life, we arrive in the world without opinions, without judgments, and without any sense of division. A newborn's mind is open, curious, and ready to learn from the world around them. Hate is taught, at home, in school, and through the media. Children absorb the attitudes and beliefs of those closest to them, often without even realizing it. The stories we hear at the dinner table, the lessons we learn in classrooms, and the images we see on screens, all shape our understanding of the world and the people in it. National prejudice is a learned habit, not a natural instinct. When left to their own devices, children play together without concern for nationality, language, or background. They see friends, not foreigners. It's only as they grow and listen to the world around them that they begin to notice differences, and sometimes, to fear them. Stereotypes, like, they're all lazy, or they're all arrogant, simplify the world, but erase individuality. These labels are shortcuts that make it easier to judge, but they rob us of the chance to see people as they truly are. They flatten the rich diversity of human experience into a single, often negative story. A nation is millions of unique people, not a single story. Every city, every street, every home is filled with individuals who have their own dreams, struggles, and hopes. To reduce them to a stereotype is to ignore the complexity and beauty of humanity. Think of the mind as a garden. If suspicion and fear are planted early, they grow into prejudice. But just as a garden can be tended and changed, so can our minds. The beliefs we hold are shaped by what we nurture and what we allow to take root. These beliefs can feel like part of us, but they're learned, and anything learned can be unlearned. It takes courage to question what we've always believed, to look in the mirror and ask where our ideas come from. But this is how change begins. When you hear a sweeping statement about another country, remember, It was built over time, not born in us. These ideas are passed down, repeated, and reinforced until they feel like truth. But we can choose to pause, to question, and to seek out the real stories behind the headlines. Understanding this doesn't excuse prejudice, but it shows it's not unchangeable. We all have the power to challenge what we've learned, to reach out, and to build new connections. Compassion and understanding can be taught, just as hate once was. We can plant new seeds, curiosity, empathy, understanding, in the next generation. By sharing stories, asking questions, and encouraging open minds, we help children grow into adults who see the world with compassion, not suspicion. Change starts with recognizing what we've learned and choosing to learn something better. The future is shaped by the lessons we pass on, and it's never too late to start growing something new. History isn't just dates, it's living trauma that shapes nations. Wars and injustices leave scars that echo through generations. Even if you didn't live through the pain, family stories make it feel personal. These memories become part of identity, coloring how we see other nations. The past's pain is kept alive through stories, holidays, and monuments. Remembering history is vital, but if we only remember through anger, wounds never heal. Animosity between nations is often about inherited pain, not present reality. The hatred is historical, not personal, a burden passed down unconsciously. Healing means honoring the past, but refusing to be trapped by it. We can respect our ancestors' struggles without letting their pain define our future. Schools shape how we see the world, and each other. History lessons can build bridges or walls, depending on how they're taught. One-sided stories create lifelong suspicion and nationalism. When students only hear about their nation's victories or victimhood, others become caricatures. True education encourages empathy and critical thinking, not blind loyalty. Learning history from multiple perspectives reveals complexity and shared humanity. We can love our country without feeling superior to others. The choice is ours. Do we raise children to fear neighbors or to understand them? The right education helps us honor the past without repeating its hatreds. Media and politics shape our views of other nations, often without us noticing. News and entertainment can reinforce stereotypes, making us see entire countries as threats. Politicians may use fear of outsiders to unite people or distract from problems. Subtle messages, like negative news coverage or divisive rhetoric, build prejudice over time. We must ask, who is telling this story, and why? Seek out diverse sources and question simple, divisive narratives. The stories we hear are powerful, but we can choose which ones to believe. Critical thinking lets us see beyond fear and find a more compassionate truth. Our first lessons about the world come from home. Prejudice often starts with casual comments, jokes, or stories shared at the kitchen table. Children absorb attitudes from trusted adults, even when those adults are just sharing their own pain. Cultural habits, songs, jokes, rivalries can reinforce divisions or dehumanize others. Breaking the cycle means parents must examine and challenge their own biases. We can teach pride in our heritage without fostering superiority. A home can be a place where empathy replaces inherited suspicion. The cycle of hate ends when we choose to pass down respect instead. Pride in your country is natural and beautiful. It connects you to culture and community. But pride turns dangerous when it becomes nationalism, the belief that your nation is better than all others. This mindset breeds contempt and conflict, rooted in insecurity and fear. True pride is open-hearted, not defensive or superior. We can celebrate our heritage while respecting others' stories. Real strength is confidence in yourself, not putting others down. Loving your country doesn't require hating another. Healthy pride welcomes learning from others, not shutting them out. The world is richer when we appreciate both our own roots and those of our neighbors. Let's choose pride that unites, not prejudice that divides. If hate is learned, it can be unlearned, and it starts with a simple connection. Every day we have the opportunity to challenge the biases we've absorbed, often without even realizing it. Sometimes, all it takes is a smile, a greeting, or a willingness to listen to someone's story. These small gestures can be the first cracks in the walls that separate us. Prejudice thrives in the abstract, but crumbles in the face of real human relationships. When we step out of our comfort zones and truly engage with others, we begin to see the world through their eyes. Laughter, shared experiences, and honest conversations reveal how much we have in common and how little our differences truly matter. Sharing a meal or a conversation with someone from a mistrusted country reveals their humanity. Suddenly, the labels and stereotypes fade, replaced by real stories, hopes, and dreams. We realize that behind every accent, every tradition, is a person not so different from ourselves. Travel, cultural exchange, and diverse communities challenge stereotypes and replace them with real stories. When we immerse ourselves in new cultures, we discover the richness of human experience and the beauty of our shared world. These moments broaden our minds and soften our hearts. A single act of kindness or a genuine conversation can undo years of bias. Even the smallest gesture, a helping hand, a word of encouragement, can plant the seeds of understanding and compassion. Over time, these seeds grow into trust and friendship. Unlearning hate is active. Read, listen, taste, and question. Explore new perspectives through books, food, and open dialogue. Attend events that celebrate diversity and seek out voices different from your own. The more we learn, the less room there is for fear. When you hear a stereotype, pause and ask, is it true? Challenge assumptions, both your own and those you hear from others. Curiosity and critical thinking are powerful tools for breaking down prejudice. Seek stories that connect, not divide. Listen to the lived experiences of others and let their journeys inspire empathy. The more we share, the more we realize our stories are intertwined. The journey begins with a hello, an open mind, and a willing heart. Each new connection is a step toward a more compassionate world, where understanding replaces suspicion. Hate is a heavy burden. We have the power to set it down. Letting go of old prejudices frees us to move forward, lighter and more open to the possibilities of friendship and peace. Every small step toward understanding makes a difference. Together, we can build a world where kindness is stronger than hate, and where every hello is the start of something better. The past shapes us, but it doesn't have to define us. We inherit stories of conflict, but we can choose which ones to carry forward. We can honor our ancestors' struggles while writing a new chapter of healing. This isn't about forgetting history, but learning from it and choosing a better path. Change begins when we question inherited prejudices and teach curiosity and compassion. Every act of understanding helps write a new story, one of hope, not hate. We can be the generation that ends the cycle of division. The future is unwritten. Let's fill it with empathy and connection. Let's see each other not as strangers, but as fellow members of the human family.